Hey everyone, it's Alex here from Carnivore for Life. It's Saturday, 7:30 p.m. in the UK, and it's another live stream. So, guys, tonight's live stream is with two very special guests of mine, and their brothers as well. It's Rhett and Ashley from a great YouTube channel. I know it's the Carnivore Brothers. So, without further ado, I'm just going to invite them onto the stage now. Here we go. Hi, Ash.
Hey,
Hi,
everybody.
Rhett.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
good. Super excited to be here with you, Alex.
Yeah, at long last, guys, we've had a few chats, haven't we, online? And I liked your channels a couple of months ago, and obviously you've reciprocated as well. Great to see you guys. So I recognize those accents. You're from the States.
Yeah, I'm from Texas and the Dallas area.
And I'm from Washington and Ridgefield, a small town outside of Portland, Oregon.
Okay, guys, before we talk about all things carnivore, who's the youngest? Horrible question. Yeah. What's the age gap?
3 years.
All right, cool. All right, guys, so let's hopefully get some views coming. We've got 9 people on, all right. So hey everybody, hope you enjoy it. We're going to be on for about an hour. So without any further chatting from me, Ash, sorry, I keep saying Ash, it's Ashley. I want Ashley and Rhett to introduce themselves and tell me a little bit more about their carnivore story. So Ashley, over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Alex. Thanks again for having us on. We do love your channel. We've enjoyed your content and getting to watch you, and been involved in that since you started your channel too. So yeah, our Carnivore Brothers channel kind of started as kind of a push at the end after we kind of got things started. But I started first. I've fought type 2 diabetes for many years, and got probably more detail, but the quick version of the story is I've never wanted to go on the medications and do the different things to try and do it. I always felt like there was a way to help control it naturally, and through diet and exercise, of course. And learned about 8 years ago that absolutely was possible, but never got really strict with the diet. I had a great when I first found out my A1C, which with those who have type 2 diabetes, they know exactly what that number is. But anytime you are at about 5.7, 5.8, you're considered pre-diabetic, and 6.2 you're considered type 2 diabetic. And my A1C, when I didn't even know what that was 11.3. Was off the charts high. I'd actually gone through some. I thought I had cancer. I'd lost about 50 pounds. Was still eating like crap, not exercising. My body was basically eating itself inside out, and I was to the point where my body couldn't control the glucose and insulins, and it was eating away at my muscles, and that's why I was losing the weight. So I learned all about what diabetes was, what caused it, whatever else, and again, I'd never done anything to help my body. So my wife had been doing some research on the paleo diet at the time, which is very similar, low carb, natural eating, basically getting back to that. And we went strict paleo for 3 months, and in 3 months time had dropped my A1C back down to, I believe it was 5.9, which was tremendous. The doctor kind of flipped out when he saw my numbers, like, what are you doing? Wow. And let him know I didn't take the medicine you prescribed me. I did this all through diet naturally. I didn't even really do that much exercise at that time because I was still out of shape and not in good shape that way. But slowly let it degrade over the years, and I knew, I kept in the back of my head, well, I can fix it with diet. I can fix it with diet at some point, but I was just never motivated to do it. I had that addiction to sugar, and I couldn't kick it. And every time I wanted to start, I said, oh, I'll start next week. One more slice of pizza, one more ice cream, one more this or that. And that was when a buddy of mine told me about the carnivore diet. And, just from him talking to me about it, I thought, oh, this is something I can get behind. I love meat. I can do this. And started doing the research thing, watching Ken Berry videos, learning as much as I could about the YouTube stuff that he had introduced me to. And then it was Carrie's. I was really on the verge of doing it, but then it was Carrie's video from Homestead How, this 30-day video that I saw, that I was like, all right, that's it. I'm doing this all in. and haven't looked back since. So since that time,
Wow.
I'd done my blood work right before that. My A1C was back up to in the 9s, 9.3, I believe it was. And my recent blood work, which I'm doing a video on, hopefully in the next few days to announce it officially. But so it'll be news for you on your channel. We'll break it, but it was 5.2. So I was just thrilled by that and super, super excited.
Yeah.
Lowest I've ever been. And, I've been pretty strict carnivore now for about 11 months. I think February of last year is when I started.
Wow.
And feeling great. Not just the type 2 diabetes, feel great too. We can go into all that, but that's a version of the story.
Yeah. Before I go on to Rhett, that discussion you had with your doctor, and you mentioned that you weren't taking the medication and it was all to do with your diet. What was his reaction?
Well, it was, he was a younger doctor. Actually, it was one of those, I'd never been to the doctor. I was one of those that avoided the doctor. I never went. And I had to find a doctor when I had this problem. I was like, all right, who's going to take me, and I tried to find it. So he was a newer doctor. And he was a DO, and I was, wanted to kind of see a DO over an MD, but it was when he first saw my numbers, 11.3, I asked, I was like, can I do anything diet? Can I do anything exercise wise? He said, like, of course you can do that, but you have to, it's too late. You're too far gone. You have to be on medicines, and I may have to up the dosages, Then he sent me to a nutritionist to talk to it. And the information the nutritionist gave me was kind of crazy about stuff I'd already known from my wife being, having a gluten, she's really probably celiac, never been diagnosed, but she'd been doing a lot of research on gluten. And so when the nutritionist didn't even really know what gluten was or gluten-free, I was like, all right, I checked out. I wasn't listening at that point. But it was crazy. It was more of one of those, don't eat the whole pack of Oreos, just have 2 or 3. And I was like, no, why not cut it completely? Come on. So anyway, so when I came back, his face was said it all. I wish I'd had a YouTube channel at that point. I could have recorded that reaction. It was pretty great. And I found a new doctor after that, to be honest with you. But I was seeing a chiropractor at the time who was a research fanatic, and I loved him. And that's who I went to after I saw my doctor. I said, hey, am I about to die? What's going on? Give me, can I do this for 3 months? Can we do something else? And he was like, yeah. And he gave me a little bit more of a regimen and some oils that I took and did and changed the eating style. And results were just phenomenal. So I knew it could be done naturally.
Yeah, great stuff. I love it. Okay, Rhett, please do me a favor and introduce yourself and just give us a bit of a background.
Yeah, Rhett Rogers. I've been doing carnivore for about 11 months as well. I started shortly after my brother. Kind of interesting. It was just, I saw a Facebook post that his wife posted, and I saw my brother, and I go, what the heck is going on with him? He looks so fantastic. And so I immediately messaged him and said, dude, what are you doing? You got to tell me your secret. And, and it didn't take much. He told me what he was doing. I was a little over 300 pounds and was like, just for the weight loss alone, I'm in. This sounds great. Let's try this. And like any good carnivore, Ashley recommended I start with Dr. Ken Berry and just kind of go through and research for myself and see the benefits and, ask questions if something scares me. And started doing that. And I've lost just over 100 pounds this year. And it's, the weight loss was my initial motivation. And not just because of the way I looked, but I had recently been diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. I had just gotten a CPAP machine. I hated every night that I had to wear that thing. It did help me sleep a little better. But I'm about 4 hours into my sleep. I was angrily throwing it off of my head, just frustrated that I had to wear something like that to sleep. And so within about, I'd say 2 weeks of carnivore, I had put that thing back in its bag and I never pulled it out again. In fact, I returned it to the doctor and they had me stop making payments on it and said, "No, we agree. You no longer need this. You have healed yourself of the sleep apnea."
Wow.
So the biggest benefit that I found, and it certainly didn't hit right away. It's taken the entire year for me to kind of realize this, but I had pretty severe depression and anxiety for 10 plus years. And we'll tell a little bit about that story, but I'm confident to say it's gone. I don't have it anymore. Do I have bad days here and there? Yeah, sure. But it's not depression. It's because I'm having a bad day. Something got in my way, right? The mental clarity and the confidence that has come through this has just changed my life.
Excellent. I mean, what you said so far, guys, it's a very, very common and positive story. It's obviously I talked to Kerry man from Homestead, how you listen to all the YouTubers that we like, even the medical guys, even I was listening to Ken Berry. We're all going through similar stories, and you think about how many millions of people throughout the world who are, struggling like we've done, and haven't found the magic bullet yet. But yeah, thanks for the introductions. One quick question for Ash before we go any further. I sort of know what. Just tell us what an A1C is for people who don't know.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that is, I mean, that's one of the number one markers that a doctor will go to find out where you land on that diabetes scale. And what it is it's a test that they can run, a blood test they can run. Basically, it's a 3-month average of your blood sugar levels. I've struggled to this day. I've asked the question many times, like, how do they get an average over 3 months? But that's however the magic of the science works. That's what it is. It's an average of 3 over the last 3 months. So a lot of people, will do a blood test, and then they'll come back a month later and say, well, it hadn't really come down that much. Well, that's because you're still factoring in the 2 months that you haven't had any impact. So you really need to give it 3 months in between when you take those tests.
Yeah.
But that's essentially what that is, and it's a measure of your blood glucose level. So anybody who's type 1 diabetic or type 2 diabetic also has the ability to, you prick your finger. You've probably heard of that or seen that. You can read your blood sugar levels on a glucometer, and that's just an instant reading of what the blood sugar is at that time. And now they have those that can monitor. You can stick in, and it's kind of monitored from your phone and things like that, so you can see where there's spikes and dips and things like that, and see what affects it. But when I was doing that in the morning, I really never did it consistently throughout the day, but I did it consistently in the mornings to check my levels, and I knew where I was at. I knew it was high again. I'd prick my finger, and my blood glucose would be anywhere between 250 and 300, which is great. It should be between 70 and 110 on when you wake up in the morning. That's your kind of your fasting insulin level that you want to see first thing when you wake up in the morning, and mine was a lot of times closer to 300, so it was way up there.
Okay, great stuff. All right, guys, next question. So you've been on Carnivore about 11 months. You're rocking it, you're flying. What was your diet like? I'm guessing it was SAD, standard American, very similar to UK, but describe to me what your, let's say, your weekly standard American diet would be. Ash, what would it be?
Yeah, so we did my standard American diet is definitely what it was, but it was my wife and I had tried to, like I said, we'd gone to that paleo diet for a while. We really were trying to stick to whole, but it was the convenience factor, and especially for me when I was at work, it was, I always say my weakness is free. And, if there was any food left over, be it donuts, burritos, breakfast burritos, we got burrito Fridays, and just whatever. If it was free, I finished it. It didn't matter. When and then the convenience factor of, well, hey, I don't have time to go make something or prepare a big meal that's healthy for you. Let's just grab fast food. Let's just grab, I'm in Texas, so the fast food Mexican joints are, tacos, burritos. Those are my favorites. And pizza is my other weakness. I love Costco pizza. I grab a slice for $1.25, $1.50, and you couldn't beat
Yeah.
it. So that was
Crazy.
that. And yeah. And then desserts. That was, I was highly addicted to sugar, and it was just, if there was a dessert around, if there was a little extra, or the sweet in the coffee, or which pretty much makes it into a dessert, that was me. Anything
Yeah.
sugary.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Rhett.
I was kind of the garbage disposal of the family, right? Any leftovers, just give to dad. He'll take care of it, right? So,
Wow. Yeah.
Pizza has always been my favorite food, and I just attacked it. I could, at some point, I could eat an entire pizza to myself without even thinking about it. Right? You put on a show and
Yeah.
you just start eating, and soon it's like, oh, where'd that food go? Let's go find some more to munch on. And so I just kind of lost control. My wife has always cooked a pretty healthy meal, in comparison to the standard American diet. My wife comes from Russia. She had always felt that, veggies and things are a good part of the meal. And so always had a good, healthy side dish. And for the most part, we ate reasonably healthy. I just couldn't control myself. I just simply ate too much with every meal. And just like Ashley said, if there was sugar around, I was making sure I got through my meal so I could, and make sure I had some room for pie afterwards. And it just adds up, especially when you're not
Yeah.
living an active lifestyle, which also went with this. I didn't feel like going anywhere and doing anything. So I'm eating and then going and sitting on the couch. It's just not a sustainable way of life.
Wow. Yeah, crazy, guys. I think we're catching up with you in the UK slowly but surely. Over the last 10 years, I've seen a massive change in the when you go to supermarkets. I'd say at least 70% of people are heading towards obese. It's really, really sad, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can make people turn around. So next question. You guys are obviously family. Is anyone else in the family doing carnivore besides yourselves?
Well, I'll answer that one first.
Ash, you want to go
Same
first?
answer, obviously. Both, yeah, it's the same for both
Yeah.
of us probably. But what's interesting is actually we're not the only carnivore brothers. I have a twin brother as well, and so Rhett's the younger brother by 3 years. I've got a twin brother.
Oh, wow.
And definitely didn't consider carnivore for the longest time, and Rhett and I were a little shocked, actually, quite frankly, that about 40 days ago, he reached out. He said, all right, how do I start the carnivore diet, guys? And he had been struggling with a lot of just really pain, arthritis, IBS, dietary issues for years and years and years, and really had been restricted. And may have a lot still there. He's still discovering, still trying to figure things out. But we were blessed to all be together. And we just got back from a trip to Florida where we all had our families together for the first time in 6 years, and we got to spend a little bit more time with them, hear a little bit more about it. But we're still at the no pressure stage. We're praying that he sees some great results. He seems to have had really good results. He said he's struggling a little bit with the mental part of just eating meat, the variety. He's still at that stage where he wants the variety and different things. But he did say, like, as soon as he kind of started getting a little defensive, I think, about it, but immediately reacted to me and said, well, but hold on, my arthritis is better. My IBS is better. Like, he started listing out a lot of positives he's already seen. I was like, all right, that's great.
Wow.
But he's got 3 girls, and his girls all have different dietary issues that they've struggled with for years too. And they've done a lot over their lifetime to try and correct that. And then, Rhett, I'll let you tell about mom and dad, since I stole the thunder about Brandon, so you can tell about mom and dad.
Well, yeah, while we were on this trip, my mom actually kind of took the microphone for a little bit and just did a little speech to the family, just thanking Ashley and I for kind of getting them involved in carnivore, because they have they started carnivore. How long ago, Ash? About 4 months now?
4 or 5 months now. Yeah, 5 months, I think.
And they've both lost 35, 40 pounds. My mom was wearing a dress for New Year's, a very fancy dress that she bought 20 years ago and was never able to fit in. And she wore it to New Year's.
Wow.
Still had the tag on it.
And was
Incredible.
just, you couldn't wipe the smile off her face. And she was so proud that she could, number one, fit in that dress.
Absolutely
but
crazy.
she was so thankful for their health and the changes that have happened in their lives. I mean, they're 76 years old, and my dad, he can't sit still now. I mean, he was content to sit in a chair just fine all day, right? And now he's running around helping with this, helping with that, showing you things. And he's just, there's new life in them, and you can just see it. And it is just amazing to watch their transformation.
Remarkable. Yeah, and to mom too. She
wow.
She didn't
love it.
know a lot about it. She actually got her lab work before she left Canada. They were living in Canada and moved to Texas. Before they left, she got her blood work, and her A1C was 9.3. She was type 2 diabetic too. She didn't know it, whatever else. And her last batch of blood work, she was back down into non-diabetic levels as well. And so she's extremely happy with that as well. The cholesterol levels are doing great. Again, the weight loss, the energy's but been really cool to watch and see the difference in their energy, though. It's great.
Incredible.
And then my wife and daughter are doing a little bit
guys,
of the keto.
just have a little change. I'm going to put, sorry, go on.
No, I think we've got maybe just a little delay there. I was just saying my wife and daughter are
okay, so sorry guys.
Go ahead.
Just bear with me a second.
My favorite fishing picture.
I think I'm losing a little bit there. It's like a slight lag. Right, I'm gonna. Here we go. Hold on. I'm not very good at this. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Let me put myself on the big screen. Here we go. Crazy thing is, I've got a new Ethernet cable, and for some reason, here we go. Okay, guys. So hopefully none of these pictures are going to embarrass you guys. So we've got a nice picture of Rhett here. Rhett, when was that taken?
That was taken about a year ago. That's my favorite place in the world, Lake Merwin, and I often do fishing out there.
Wow.
And yeah, I was shocked when I was looking back for pictures and I saw that when Ashley goes, "Oh, you have to use that." But yeah, that was me. You see that boat?
It's crazy. I was talking to Kerry. No. I mean, I was talking to Kerry about keeping all my old photographs because people, after my interview with Kerry, didn't believe me. They said, "Oh, you've always looked like that." And I said, you know, you've got to think, especially people who knew me quite well, you know, my weight has yo-yoed over the years. And since we had the UK lockdowns, obviously I deteriorated quite a lot. But let's just go through these. So again, I mean, you can see the inflammation, can't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, how did you feel at the time? Did you think you were overweight or having issues?
Oh, miserable. Just
really?
Prior to that first picture you showed, I had surgery on my foot. I had a torn tendon. Right. But I had aches and pains in my legs, especially my upper body. My sleep was rough, as I kind of talked about before. But yeah, I mean, I was constantly dealing with something, and it seems nowadays it's very rare when I have to deal with anything negative when it comes to my body.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, who's that?
That's one of my favorites. That's kind of the first one that we took that kind of shocked a lot of our family members and whatnot. Just kind of the transformation that took place.
Yeah, Rhett, you don't look like the same. It doesn't look like the same guy.
I don't feel like the same guy, Alex. I feel like a new man.
He doesn't act like it either. It's really cool to watch, to see him now. I mean, the difference in just his life as well.
Yeah. Well, Kerry Mann says, doesn't he, from Homestead, how he's got the carnivore glow. You can see it. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Okay, Ashley. Sorry about this, mate. I mean, you sent it to me.
I know. Well, it's hard. It's one of those where I just don't have a lot of good like pictures that really show, because you kind of avoid the camera where possible. And I was going through pictures trying to find one, and I came across something like, there's no way that was real. And a lot, even I think Rhett said, that's got to be photoshopped a little. You've never been that heavy. So it's not a great
Yeah.
angle, obviously, but yeah, I mean, that was
No.
me at my heaviest. I probably got up to 260.
Yeah. So
And
how long ago was it?
that was several years ago.
Wow.
I had lost some weight before that because I've been trying to get back off of the carbs for a while. That was probably 3 years ago when that picture was
Wow.
taken.
Okay. Here we
Um,
go. That one's
yeah,
similar.
that was the face.
Same
Yeah,
top. Yeah.
yeah.
Whoa.
That was me eating at one of the new barbecue joints, doing carnivore, just pretty much trying to eat straight meat and
Yeah.
showing that off on a
Wow.
barbecue place. It was great with the water to
I mean,
drink. Yeah.
my view is when you sent me these photographs, what I should have done was put them side by side because that does not look like the same man. You
Yeah.
know, you look at least 20 years younger, at least.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well,
Incredible.
thank you. And I feel
Yeah.
it. That's the difference. You
Yeah.
feel it. There it is, right there. But that's kind of, yeah, there you got your shirt on too. And that's kind of how we felt like watching your channel too. I mean, remember Carrie was bragging on you, like, guess how old this guy is. You'll never guess his age. Every live channel he had, he brought your picture into it. And that's what it's remarkable to see, your transformation, just how you're, I think with everybody do this. I mean, you take the weight off, but it's the energy. That's the thing that's crazy to me. I'm
Yeah.
running around, and people say it, but I literally feel it. I feel 20 years younger. I'm out there with
Yeah.
on my daughter's soccer field where I would just sit there before on my phone and doing something on the bench there, and now I'm out, running around catching balls and getting them
Yeah.
back in, or I'll do a lap, or it's just totally. I feel high energy all the time. We got back from our Disney World trip, and Rhett was like, dude, I don't know how you have so much energy all the time. But I'm just like, I just go. I feel great now.
Yeah. It's
It's
crazy.
amazing.
I mean, that's why I like all the YouTube channels. I mean, some people say to me, oh, there's too many now. And I go, no. What it makes me do is because I'm obsessed with all the YouTube carnivore channels, I look at the fact that it's sustainable long term. You can see someone like Maggie from Canada, 65 years. Dr. Chafee, he did it when he was younger. Dr. Berry, at least, is it 5 years plus? Even Kerry. I mean, Kerry's over 6 months now. It's phenomenal. You guys over 11 months. It's definitely the most sustainable thing I've ever done in my life.
Yep. And to that point, Alex, I think that's one of the cool things. We talked about going through the holidays and trying to do through that, and some people struggled. Some people, I mean, if I really was like, every time the turkey was out or whatever else, I was like, where's my ribeye? And I had no problem with it. I was just, let's keep eating ribeye and hamburger. And I feel really great about it. Now. Interestingly, I haven't cheated a lot, but I did when we were in Disney World. I had the Dole Whip. That was my wife's. Like, I'm having a Dole Whip as soon as we get to Disney World. Okay, I had the Dole Whip, and oh my goodness, I had instant headache the rest of the night, and I had a bad reaction the next day. It just, I mean, that was a lot at once, and so I know, I kind of knew it was coming, but it was just one of those things. It tasted good, but boy, I regretted it ever since.
Again, it's this thing about every diet I've done over the years, sometimes unintentionally. As soon as I started having a treat or a cheat, it was bye-bye. It was, game over, and I would go back to the way it was. This is the only thing, because it is, the proper human diet, in my opinion. This is the only thing that I can sustain and maintain and not even think about it. I just don't think about it at all nowadays, because I've been doing it for 615 days today, 20 months. It's become my new lifestyle. And you just, as I say, for any newbies, you've got to give it time, guys. Do what obviously Rhett and Ashley have done. Do what I've done. You've got to have that why. And these guys had massive, big whys, and they know that's always there in the front of the mind. So, yeah, I think we're all on the same path, aren't we, guys? So let me just go to the next slide. Let's have a look.
Oh, there you go. There we were in Disney World.
Yeah, that's this last week.
Yeah.
Alex, interestingly enough, I had just hopped off a red-eye flight. We got off on a red-eye flight that morning, met Ashley, got to the park, and we were going. So, I mean, that was a 30-hour day, no problem. Carnivore just did it, it was crazy.
Crazy.
I would never have made it before.
Yeah. I mean, if I was doing what Kerry does, which is show photographs, and I had which I will do on my phone, and I show people your previous pictures, they would say to me, that's how you were 20, 30 years ago. So you've actually reversed the whole thing. You look
Yeah.
like two younger guys from like at least 20 years ago in Disney. It's just crazy.
One of my favorite things,
rid of the
Alex,
gray.
is my wedding
Yeah.
ring. I've switched
Wow.
it 3 times backwards now. This is my original one that was resized once, and
Yeah,
I'm back
I love it.
to where I can slide on and off my finger, no problem.
It's just incredible.
Before I had it resized for the first
Yeah.
time.
I mean, people might say that's just a small thing, but it's powerful stuff. Absolutely. Okay.
That's massive to me.
Yeah. Bit of Star Wars going on in the background.
Oh, that one's a fun one.
But guys, as I say, you can see that carnivore glow. It's just, that just fires me up. Fires me up.
Love
Okay.
it. Here's my beautiful wife, Alexis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Excellent. Yeah.
I didn't send you any before pictures of her, but I mean, people can't keep talking about the weight loss she did. Now that was not all carnivore. She's done a few different things, but
Yeah.
she's maintaining and kind of slowly transitioning over to it. But she's done a remarkable job too. She looks great.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Is my wife Michelle, I've probably documented it. She has always had a fantastic diet. She's so, I'd say, strict and disciplined. She's my rock. She's my tough nurse. When I fall off the wagon, she's like, she gives me the old punch, you know what I mean? And you know, even at my age 65, I know that I've got to really have that support. Otherwise, I would just, I don't know. You just don't know, do you? But yeah, I pinched that photograph, sorry, off your Facebook page. I hope you don't mind.
No, I was going to say, I don't think I sent those to you, but I love it. Good job.
Yeah, but it looks like young love to me.
Right? It does.
Okay.
It's such a massive difference.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to talk about healing humanity later, but just a quick one. Was that at the Chicago meetup?
Yeah. Yeah, we got to go to the Chicago meetup, and that was so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so jealous. We'll talk about that later anyway. And who's that guy on the right?
Yeah. Here's Kerry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It meant so much to say thank you to him as the kind of the guy that got us started, you know, and to look him in the eye, shake his hand, give him a hug, and say thank you. That meant the world to me, and I'd do it all over again. So,
well, that's the one thing I'm jealous about, because he is the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, guys, that's great. All right, so yeah. So where are we now? So we talked about family. We talked about diabetes. Obviously, massive reasons why. Have you had? I mean, obviously, you've been to Disney World or Disneyland. Have you had any other social challenges going out with your friends besides your family? Any sorts of challenges? You know, you go somewhere, there's no carnivore style food available. What the hell are you going to do?
I'll let Rhett talk about that one, because I think he struggled with that a little bit more than I have.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I definitely did. You know, what people struggle to understand is it's not easy, right? It's a mental toughness game, and I've never been crazy mental tough, right? And so my probably one of my hardest experiences was I was doing well. I was about 6 months in, and then I had a camping trip with my buddies. It's an annual camping trip. We all go together. We eat like garbage, and we have fun playing games and hanging out, right? But there, I really wanted to be an example and show that I've changed my life. And it was tough. The questions coming at me, you're going to die of a heart attack. You look frail. You know, just kind of the comments that hit me. I didn't think it would affect my mental psyche like it did. But I really struggled on that trip.
Right.
And, you know, hard not to take it, you know, not really take offense, but at that point I hadn't studied enough. I wasn't confident enough to give them my reasons why, and to, you know, kind of talk about the changes that I've been going, because I was still fairly new. Going out with friends, even to just to dinner, when there's nothing on the menu that's straight carnivore, and I had to order a $20 burger and just have the burger patty with cheese, right? And they would ask, you know, why you can't even cheat at all? Like, why not just have the fries with it and the things? But you know, I had experienced so much positive change at that point that it makes it easier to make that decision, it's harder to explain why you're doing it. And that's where I struggled so much socially for a while. I'm confident now and can talk to anybody and really enjoy that conversation, because I'm not pushing anything on you. I'm just sharing my story. And I'm not asking you to do anything, but look at my life and my changes and understand that you can make the same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're in the moment now. So is Ashley. So am I. It's almost like you always know what to do if you have a challenge or a problem. You know what to do. What about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I didn't really struggle that much about it. I think my struggle is I probably talked too much about it, and because people have seen the transformation, and I needed to control my like my sales pitch, if you will, because I would just start going blah, 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 and shooting out all this stuff and probably overwhelming some people. But it was more about the thing that hits me the hardest is I say, look around. I mean, look around at people. And, like you said, when you pulled up Rhett's picture, you could see the inflammation in your face. Well, yeah. I mean, you just look at most people and you can see that they've got some, and it is that weird different eyes that you have now that you're, walking through Walmart or, wherever I'm going, and I'm just going, oh, and I'm looking at ingredients and I'm reading labels and I'm going, man, this is the kind of crap that we used to put in our body. And so many millions of people still do. So it's just that part is a struggle. But I actually enjoy going into a new restaurant, new place, and freaking them out. We did that when we were in Disney World. I took the wife and daughter into McDonald's, and we ordered let's see, I had 8 quarter-pound burger patties by themselves. My daughter had 3 and she had cheese on them, and my wife had 4. And we bought our own cheese because we didn't want the processed cheese. So we brought it into McDonald's. So they brought us that. And then we put the slice of cheese on it, had my Redmond's real salt shaker, doused it in salt, and ate it away. It was great. Another future upcoming video for it. But it's hilarious. I enjoy doing that. And I find myself asking those questions now, like how do you cook that omelet back there? Are you using real butter or are you cooking it in vegetable oil? And if so, can you use real butter? And those kind of things. The thing that gets me a lot when I go out to eat is the cream in my coffee. I still drink coffee with some cream in it, but I try and put half and half in it. And when they give me the fake creamers or stuff like that, that's where I struggle a little bit. Oh, I need real cream, please. So.
Yeah. Love it. All right, guys, let's take a couple of questions. I've got 2 and they're both from the UK. All right. First one's from Mike's Life. I don't know whether you've come across his channel, guys. We're on a WhatsApp group in the UK. Mike's a taxi driver. He's got a great channel.
Cool.
Well, I used to tease him. I think he's a really funny guy. He's actually from the northeast of England originally, but I think he's been down in the London area for quite a few years, and he's got I think, a good, strong London accent now. So, question from Mike: do you guys compete with each other weight loss? Rhett, do you want to go?
Yeah, you go, Rhett.
Sure. I mean, I would say there's of course healthy competition, but no, I would say we really haven't been competing with each other in that regard. We've definitely put out some challenges on our YouTube channel to do planks or push-ups or something like that each month, so we can push each other to be better versions of ourselves. But no, I would say we haven't really been competing necessarily because of the weight, because I had so much more weight to lose that it's hard to really gauge who's winning that battle. I say we're both winning.
I say hands down, you're winning that battle, man. You crushed it. Which is awesome. But I think we're both getting closer and closer to our ideal weight, and that's where, like Rhett said, he started from a heavier place for sure. But did you're sub 200 now though?
Right? Just over 200.
Yeah. Right there. Which is awesome.
So I guess you guys quite tall then?
I'm 6'1".
And
guys, can you hear me?
I'm 5'10".
Yeah, 6'1", yeah.
But we tease Rhett at least, because if me and my twin brother weren't split, we'd be bigger than Rhett was. Yeah.
All right, let's have another question. This one's from eventually. Yeah. Okay. This one's from a guy called Carl. Carl's just, yeah, his channel's growing. He's a really good guy. I'm going to do a live stream with him on the 16th. Oh, it might be a live stream, but it might be a recording on the 16th of January. So I'll promote that quite soon. So, guys, how do you deal with the doubters who say you will have a heart attack, etc.?
Well, I personally love that one, and I'm about to do my my lab work results. I've got all of it. I need to put it together in a video and hopefully get it out. My goal is to get that out this next week. But when I told you, when I first found out I was type 2 diabetic, this was probably about 8 years ago, I didn't realize my cholesterol was like over 1,000. It was insanely high. And I didn't even know that. All I was worried about was just the type 2 diabetes. And all my, it's funny. I'm like, just look at the lab work. Am I going to have a heart attack? I mean, look at the comparison of the difference. It's insane, the difference for me. The other things, I'll get into the nitty gritty of stuff, but the other things that I did as well, I was just trying to explore. I went and did one of those heart scans where you could see 3D imaging of the plaque in my heart and stuff like that. And so even those results have gotten better. I feel so much more confident in my ability to talk to the doubters. It is hard because we're not a doctor. And so like Rhett says, we can speak to our personal journeys. But I always go back to, if you have doubts, if you're not sure, I challenge you to go to one of Dr. Kim Berry's videos, or now even Carrie's Homestead How videos, and you start reading through the comments. And you tell me on a YouTube channel where there's haters on every channel, why it's comment after comment after comment. You saved my life. These results speak for themselves. Like I've reversed type 2 diabetes. All the positivity in those comments is it blows me away every time I start reading comments. There's too much evidence out there for this not to be. And then of course you've got the great doctors who are speaking to it as well.
Absolutely. I've had some of that.
All right, guys. Just a quick shout out to. Oh, sorry, Rhett. Carry on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've had some of those conversations myself as
Rhett,
well.
can you carry on?
And I always do refer to the Dr. Berry, because I am not a doctor, but I can speak to the positive changes in my life. I can speak to what was hard. And I do enjoy having that conversation, because ultimately I'm happy to show my numbers to anybody. The before, the after, the continued, my numbers have improved and improved and improved. And there's no denying that. So, I mean, if you think I'm going to have a heart attack, okay, well, you can think that, but I'm confident I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, how can you feel so good and have issues? I haven't seen my doctor for 5 years. I think if he saw me now, he just wouldn't know who I was, because I was it 203 pounds. I'm now 152. All the medication he gave me, I don't take anymore. And I think it's maybe time I got a new doctor, because, as I say, I don't think he'd recognize me at all. Okay, guys, so just a quick shout out to a new channel. Pete, he's from Australia, originally from Scotland, and he's got a channel called The Primal Timeline. I think Pete was messaging my channel, obviously liking some of the videos, and I've got terrible editing skills, but if you want to know how to edit a video, check into The Primal Timeline. It's just, he's done 2 videos so far, guys, and he is just smashing it. Very similar to stories to ours. Lots of issues mentally and physically. Alcohol, he won't mind me saying this because he has documented it on his channel, but I can relate to so many of the things he's doing. But if anybody's not with his channel, guys, please sub to it, because he's just doing a phenomenal job. Okay, so
I just
tell you what, I'm just going to have a quick stroll through some of the comments. Not many questions tonight, guys, but if you want to quit. Yeah, hey, excellent. Okay. I've got a message from, who is it? Who's this? Somebody called Rogers.
Ah, that's Dad.
Coming on. Yeah. So they lived in Norfolk.
Yeah, my parents have been missionaries
Yeah, guys, they
all
lived
over
in
the
Norfolk.
world. Yeah, they've been missionaries all over the world, and they started doing missionary work there
Wow.
in England, and they lived there for a while. So
Wow.
when they knew what was going on with
Amazing.
you, they wanted to know where that was in relationship and where you were at. So they said they'd throw that in there. I love it.
Wow. Yeah, let me just have a quick more stroll down. Right, so let's go back to my questions, guys. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about your go-to carnivore meal. Rhett, what's your go-to?
Oh, any kind of steak. I feel just about anybody I've made steak for over the last few months is like, that's the best thing I've ever had. And it doesn't even matter. I did top sirloin this week, and it tasted as good as a ribeye. I mean, when you're cooking steaks every night, you're kind of perfecting the process. And I would have said ribeye steak hands down, but at this point, just any kind of steak is my go-to. I just love it. And I pound the eggs. I've never eaten so many eggs in my life, but I just love them. So bacon, eggs, and steak is the way to go.
Yeah.
Mine is hands down the ribeye.
Yeah.
Still my go-to. I love.
Ash, what about you,
ribeye.
Ashley? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
guess
My ribeye every day. On that line diet in November, I had a. Sorry, guys, I've got a slight lagger here. Don't know why. Let's see.
That's all right. I think we've been.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we got you.
We can hear you, just a little delayed.
Yeah. Okay, right. Next question. This is a classic carnivore question. Guys, give me your 3 tips that you would give to any new carnivore starting out today, whether it's family, friends, someone you've met in a restaurant. Give me your best 3 tips now. You've been doing the carnivore for 11 months. What's your top 3?
Let me go first. I'll go first, Rhett. For me, one of the first things I do is I'll give my story. I'll share my story, but I'll say you've got to do your own research because you really have to have your own why and understand why you're doing it. And so I'll point to a couple of the of course, Dr. Kim Berry is one of the big ones, and some of the other channels there, and say, if you have any skepticism or whatever else, but one of the greatest things is being able to type in that into that YouTube search bar, Dr. Berry osteoporosis or whatever ailment that you want to research, and there's probably a video on it. And so do your research, get into it. And then the other big advice that I try to give people is it depends on where their diet's at, but I'll say it's kind of hard to go full in right away. If you've been eating standard American diet for the past 30 years, to jump in immediately, it's a pretty tough transition. So maybe dip your toe in the water just a little bit, kind of go more ketovore-ish to start out with a little bit before you get into it. But once you get into it, the third point that I make is give it 30 days. Give it a solid 30 days and then take an honest assessment of what it is. Write down the things that you're experiencing now, and in 30 days, what's different? Not just the weight, not just the measurements. How do you feel? And the different aspects of how you feel different, because I have no doubt if they've been eating standard American diet, whether you just hear time and time again all the different things that it helps on the carnivore diet, they're going to feel something with whether it be depression, the the aches and pains in the bodies, whatever it is, they're going to feel something different. But you got to give it at least 30 days.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm similar. I mean, the absolute number one thing is I struggled a little bit with keto flu. And so I do like to tell people, don't jump head first all the way in. Do your research. While you're doing research, start cutting back a little bit on what you're eating. And the 30-day challenge, whether, you know, there's multiple of those out there. I usually refer people to Dr. Kim Berry because he has so much content. He has his Monday night live sessions where you can get on and ask questions. I encourage people to do that. Go pay $5 for a super chat. It's the least expensive doctor advice you can get, and it's good. And right, so I mean, they go. I recommend that they do that. But start the 30-day challenge. You have nothing to lose. In 30 days, if you haven't witnessed a difference, then fine. You know, try something else. But nearly everybody that does 30 days realizes there are massive results, and they want to continue.
Yeah, excellent. All right, guys, I've got another question. This one's from the Primal Timeline. Okay, what's the immediate future for the brothers, next steps, etc.?
We just, you know, we just met in Florida, and we've been chatting a little bit about this. We both are struggling to figure out that path, right? So I'd love comments and what kind of content is needed. But you know, as of right now, we're continuing to share our story. We're doing Ashley's done some great butcher type videos where he's showing how to save money with cutting your own meat and so really, you know, our passion is just helping the carnivore community and spreading the word. And so, you know, we're going to continue to come up with ideas. We did a little sprinting video on the beach in Florida. You know, the fact that we can sprint now just kind of blows my mind. But we're gonna continue to toy with that and figure out where our path is. But just haven't. I don't know. Actually, we're still trying to figure out where we want to be and where we can help.
Yep. And I'll add to that a little bit that we both have even before this kind of got into a little bit of passion of smoking meats and things like that. So we want to do some more videos on that and different ways of preparing meat. And then our exercise, I'm to the point now where I've got all the energy. I love it. So sprinting is my next. I've been doing a lot of research on the whole sprinting aspect of it. I don't know how much you've seen on that, but I'm excited about doing that. So we started like Rhett said, our little sprinting video on the beach, but I'm going out after we end this live stream. I'll be doing another one this afternoon and trying to film that. And I think there's little things that we can do. And I've seen some great tips and tricks on there, but we did our push-up challenge. We did our planking challenge. And as Rhett says, trying to just make the best ourselves better. And you know, I'm wanting to incorporate some more strength training and just kind of do some of that aspect of it over this next year. Because like you said, I feel like I don't have the carnivore diet down, but my lifestyle is the carnivore lifestyle now. I don't question that that's where I'm staying. And so, you know, now I want to kind of take to that next level and see how I can incorporate a little bit more fitness, flexibility, those kind of things that I've always struggled with the rest of, you know, from my previous 30 years. And I say previous 30 years since high school. We were both good athletes in high school.
Guys,
but
okay, next one. I'm guessing you guys know about Limitless Lindy.
Oh,
legendary, Limitless Lindy.
I was a quick message last night. I was watching the Primal Timeline, and a guy called Dave Clark. I'm not sure Dave's second name. Dave channel. He talks about having a serious accident following a tsunami. I think it was in Japan. I can't recollect his details too much, but there's him, Pete from Primal Timeline, and Lindy. I would love to do a group chat with them from the Australian perspective. As you can tell, Lindy has lost 500 pounds. I'll say that again, 500 pounds. That's just, I see Lindy's, again, she's got the carnival glow. She's probably listening now or watching now. Guys, I think that would be something that, you know, I could definitely do next month. Lindy, so she's saying she's lost 500 pounds. Can I ask you guys, what was your maximum weight? Did you tell me before?
I was at 310.
Ashley, what was your?
Probably
how many?
closer to 260, and I'm down. I got down to. I've actually, my weight's kind of fluctuating a little bit up and down now, but I've got down to my high school weight, 180. I don't remember ever weighing that before.
Wow. Wow. So, Lindy, good morning from Australia. Great job on your transformative journeys, guys. And I endorse that as well.
Well, thank you. And we've seen some of Limitless Lindy's stuff, and it is remarkable.
I'm just going to scroll through the. Yeah, incredible. Let me just go through some of the chats, make sure I haven't missed any questions. No, I think that's it. So, guys, Kerry was talking about some more meetups with obviously the Healing Humanity Project. Have you got any plans to meet up again with Kerry?
Yes. Not definite plans, but the next time there's a meetup, if it's anywhere close, I know that we're both going to try and be there. I definitely will try to be there. I know he's talked about coming to Texas, so
great.
I said be happy to host him and family and whoever and get him out here. But I know he's going to start traveling again here soon. So we're also both trying to be more involved with the Healing Humanity documentary on the back end as well. I'm working through some of that with the type 2 diabetes piece of it, and I know Rhett's recently reached out to try and get more involved. Carrie's been doing a lot more on the depression, and that's something that Rhett's seen really remarkable results from. And it was wild in our recent trip to Disney World that Rhett's wife came up to me privately and said, she said, I don't know what it is, but if Rhett had been in Disney World like this a year ago with all the crowds and everything like that, he would have turned around and we'd have found him in the truck hours later. He wouldn't have come in. He wouldn't have come in. He would have had a anxiety moment where he'd have been out. And she's like, he's completely different. And that, I think that really said a lot as she was seeing him in the crowd, even though Rhett's pointed it out a couple of times, but I know that was pretty impactful.
Yeah.
It's amazing to hear that from.
Okay, guys. Right. So I'm going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. Sorry, Rhett, carry on.
It's okay. I was just going to say, it's amazing to hear that from my wife to somebody else. And the way I heard that, I immediately thought, going back to the question of what we're going to do in the future, I want to do some more targeted videos towards depression. Because she's absolutely right. I would not, this was the busiest crowd I've ever seen in my life. And normally I would have gone into a complete shutdown and I would have found an excuse to get out of there. And I was singing and dancing in the streets with my kids and having fun. Yeah. And it would just the difference between last year versus this year. I mean, I just kind of broke down and started crying about it because I could not believe how much my life has changed when it comes to depression and anxiety.
Wow. Yeah. It's obvious to me, guys, that you've got a massive support system with both families as well.
Awesome family. We've been very blessed.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm sorry, guys. I think that I'll apologize. I think there's a slight lag on my end, even though I've got a new Ethernet cable. Let's just see if I can just share your channel just with the viewers. Hold on a second. Fingers crossed. Okay. Here we go. Okay. How's that looking?
It looks like it's loading.
There we go. Hey. Yeah.
There he goes.
Okay. Okay, guys. Right. Okay, guys. So any viewers who haven't subbed to the Carnivore Brothers, I just came across them because the algorithms on YouTube just brought up. I think the first one I saw was Rhett. He was sitting in a car, chatting to himself, and he had a beautiful lake behind him. And I was just listening, and then you started talking about a few personal things. And as with all the YouTubers who I'm really fond of, It just resonated with me, and reminded me of all the challenges that I'd had. But guys, yeah, check out this channel. It is unusual to have two guys sharing one channel, but lots of variety on the videos as well, which I love. So I'm looking forward to following your progress. How many views? 445 guys. If anybody wants to have some fantastic videos to watch, please sub as soon as you can. Let's try and get it over at least 450, and let's get it towards 500. So yeah, I like that channel a lot, as you can tell.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay.
Well,
Right, here we go. Oh, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Guys, have you got any questions for me before we go?
Yeah, I know you've got to go here in a little bit too. I was just going to tell you on our channel, we didn't do it for the subs and anything like that. We really did it just to share our story. And I think it's been amazing. Just like you, we've thoroughly enjoyed watching your story and your meat videos, and especially a different country, your the pounds that you have to spend versus that, and going through and your different measurements and stuff, and what you call the meat is a different cut than we do. It's funny, but I've enjoyed watching those because I like doing the butchery and cutting my own steaks and doing some of that stuff too. But sometimes we may struggle with the content, but the passion is there. We love it.
Yeah, I mean, as you said at the beginning, Ashley, you were compelled to overwhelm people because all that excitement was contained, and it was almost like a tsunami. You're just too much, and that's where I said to Kerry, I've got to stop talking about this. And that's when he said to me, Alex, why don't you just develop your channel? I have a tendency to ramble, as I always do, which I look back on my videos and I go, oh, why didn't I shut up? But it is what it is.
We're learning.
So listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Yeah, it's a massive learning curve, and but guys, thanks to all the viewers and all the subscribers who've tuned in tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Not many questions. Maybe I didn't push that enough, but I just want to say to Ashley and Rhett, guys, thanks for coming on. I've had a great time.
Thanks for having us. We have to. Appreciate you, Alex.
We'd love to continue watching your progress.
Okay, guys, I'm going to
chat with you again soon.
Yeah, and ditto, guys, vice versa. Okay, you take care. See you now.
Thanks, Alex.
Hold on.